Yeah,
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Pardon me. Let's do that again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Site 5 for what could be the final time, whether it be with a Warwick. And my bag's just broken. Not a good day for me so far, but I'm not on the tower. Let's try that again. So I'll go for number 3 now that my bag has broken. Huddle bag has broken. Oh dear, dear, dear. Normally, people watching it's a lot more professional than this. We do have the captain's meeting in the centre of the field. But unfortunately, I have to sort out some bag logistics now. So, in the NFL, it's just always bag logistics. So everyone's shaking hands here. There we go. Okay, let's try this one more time. Are you ready? You ready? You ready? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Site 5 for possibly the last ever time for the Brunel Burners and their opponents, the Warwick Wolves. The Brunel Burners, undefeated winners of the Premiership South. Then, on the other side, we're in the red. It is the Warwick Wolves going 6-2 this year, not being able to replicate their Premiership North winning ways of last season. The Warwick Wolves beat the Cardiff Cobras in the semi-finals for a second year in a row to get here to Site 5. Whilst the Brunel Burners took on the challenge from the Newcastle Raiders to get here. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the biggest week in British University American football. This is the week where we find out who heads to Loughborough on March 24th. Both of these teams familiar with Loughborough, both of them playing on BUCS Big Wednesday's American Football Day on Tuesday last year. The Warwick Wolves on their dream run. After winning the Premiership North for the first time, they fell to the SGS Pride, whilst the Brunel Burners took on the Northumbria Mustangs to win Division 1 as a whole. So a good kick there from Kamada of Warwick, and that might be going out of bounds. And Kamara with the smart option, letting that ball go out of bounds, which means they will have the ball at the 40-yard line.
Quick, jog, just jog. Re-kick. Cole, tell Joe what I said.
So it's going to be re-kick once again, just like the last time we were at Site 5 a couple of weeks ago. As you can tell, the weather is, whilst it's dry here at Site 5, which is a bit of a rarity, it is very, very windy once again, which is why the tower that the Brunel Burners lovingly construct for me to go into is not being used, because 2 weeks ago, just up there, not having a good time. I went up there, ready to go for this game, big gust of wind. No. So, Kamada, number 56, for Warwick to kick it away. McFarland is playing this game. He's back to receive, wearing number 12. Kamara, 14. Bit of a lower kick from this time for Kamara, but it's going to go straight to Kamara. He's going to bobble it a bit. He's going to break right, is he? Thanks, SJ, for walking in front of the camera. But Kamara is going to be brought down at the 20. Oh, he got further than I thought. I thought he was down at the 26. He's going to be down at the 32-yard line of the Burners.
Go out there.
The Brunel Burners, staggering offence here on the field. I think we may be witnessing a first-time matchup as well between Brunel and Warwick. DM3, number 22, in the backfield. Under centre for Jelinski. Hand off to DM3. He's going to run on the outside. Breaks one tackle. Takes down probably about a gain of 8 there for David Moore the third. I'm going to try and get it, make sure if I'm not getting shouted at by anyone. So I'm going to try and get my remote scoring up, and I do have it. Wonderful. Let's put that through there, and I should be able to give you, it is going to be 2nd and 3. So 2 on the left-hand side here for Brunel. They want to have that double promotion story. One of these teams is going to Loughborough on the 24th. Goes to DM3 again. DM3 breaks ahead of speed. And a decent amount of yardage there. It's going to be a fresh set of downs as the wind blows the remote scoring tablet onto the floor. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, with the weather, I'm having to do a lot of things all at once. So I'm going to try and stay locked in as best possible. And so still in the first here. We've just started. There's a lot of great games happening today, but we're obviously going to be only at 1, unfortunately, Hearts. So here for Brunel. Goes back to DM3. It's very, very windy. And another decent amount of yardage there. I'm going to say he's going to grab 6 on the play. He's one of the Russian leaders. I think the Russian leader in all of Southern Colorado high school football, which is nuts if you firm it. And he's over here playing for Brunel. I mean, Warwick, the only team representing the North left. Representing the North in the playoffs in the Premiership. The winners, NTU, went out to Portsmouth in the first round. Goes to DM3 again, but Warwick doing a decent job this time, pushing him to the outside and dragged down. Could even be a loss of downs there for... Loss of down, well, it's obviously going to be lost down. It's going to be a loss of yardage as well. It's going to go back to a 3rd and 7. Again, once again, it's so windy here. We saw last week Newcastle and Brunel throwing that ball around with reckless abandon despite the weather. Could we see that today? A river of blue skies. 3rd and 8, actually. I'll give that to Brunel. Here we go. Jelinski's going to drop back this time. Fires it into the middle. And Cole McFarland is wide open. And what a catch there for number 12, Cole McFarland. The first pass of the day here goes to number 12. But McFarland was all there by himself, and I wish that I could have some replay. One day we'll get a replay. So 1st and goal for Brunel. Considering that Brunel are a team, but I think even they will admit they start fairly slow. It's good to get him down here. So referees, we got a coach just dropping things on the field. Actually, I believe that I believe that might be Kamara's back plate that has flown off. So tighter formation here for Brunel. It's going to go DM3's up there, but brought down by number 41, I want to say, of the Warwick Wolves. Second down for Brunel in scoring position. Warwick this year, a bit of an up and down season, I'd say. Losing 20U once, but I think the big shocker for their season, a loss to the Newcastle Raiders. I think one of the biggest surprise results of the year. They're going to be wanting to shock the world today. This to the left-hand side now. DM3 is wrapped up there. Number 52 of the Wolves brings him down. And that's going to be a tackle for loss. And the Wolves defense doing a fantastic job of keeping the Burners out of the end zone. The Burners really could. The Burners season really does hinge on promotion. Whilst the Warwick Wolves would love to get back there and get some revenge from last time, obviously falling to SGS, they're not choosing to take place in that promotion relegation game versus Leeds Beckett. Many out there thought that the honour should have then gone to the Warwick Wolves. So shotgun formation for him. Jelinski drops back. Jelinski's looking back, right corner for Kamara. And Kamara, let's wait for a signal. I'm going to wait for a referee signal. I'm going to wait. I can't see a referee. And it is. And Kamara scores first blood for the Brunel Burners. I mean, number 14 for the Brunel Burners is the textbook definition of maximum effort. Maximum effort. And it was looking slightly fraught for them. But Kamara brings it in from a dart from Jelinski. And you know, Jelinski's family flying out here from the States to be here for this game. You've got to put on a show, though. I didn't quite ask them. I did have a conversation with them earlier. What do they think of Site 5 in comparison to some of the other places at Chapman that Jelinski has played at? So it's going to be, Jelinski's going to take it himself and he trucks, but is it going to be good for two? Let's have a look. Can't see a signal from our referee, and it is no good. So the scoreline is going to remain 6-0 for the Brunel Burners. So the first Brunel kickoff of the day is now going to be coming your way. Good opening drive there. I mean, lots of DM3, sort of classic Brunel playbook. But on a day like today, where once again the condition is not good, I'm not quite surprised that they're going to be running it on the ground. So Carpenter, number 6, to kick it away. Both teams with prolific running backs. Of course, Brunel, DM3, David Moore III, and Edward Trey, number 8, for the Warwick Wolves. I know it shouldn't really be the case, and it should just be something that is, you know, expected. But I think this is the toughest game for Brunel so far. Warwick are a team that can pull it out at the best of times. I really do think that this is going to be a tough day at the office for them. So, not Carpenter that kicks it. That's going to take a Brunel bounce, but it is going to be recovered after some time. Making a man miss, making many yellow jerseys miss. But the Burners stand him up, still no whistle. And there we go. I do feel as though the Burners have got a slight tendency to be overconfident. Don't get me wrong, of course they should be confident, but they have a tendency to maybe do too much. But the first time we're going to see the Warwick Wolves offense on the field, and I personally can't wait to see what they're going to be able to bring to the winners of the Prem South, the undefeated Brunel Burners. Only 3 undefeated teams left in uni ball, and one of them is the Rams of Lancashire. Straight up the middle. Great turn of speed to start. But I think taking an angle there that may be shorter than I actually expected. It's a shorter amount of yards than I would have thought. Only going to be 2, so it's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for the Wolves. Yeah, only one game featuring 2 undefeated teams today, and that's going to be the Lancashire Rams and the Bournemouth University Bobcat. No, the Lancashire Rams and the Edinburgh Napier Knights. So looking for a throw here. There is some space there for 14, but just only being able to slap that ball. There was certainly some space there. Yeah, we've got a lot of good games today. Bournemouth versus Hertfordshire, that kicks off at 2. Unsure of when the Rams and the Knights kick off. Durham and Loughborough, and of course whoever is going to be facing the winner of this game in Loughborough, the winner of Portsmouth versus SGS. There's some space there. Oh! And a big hit there, but number 17 manages to stay on his feet. 4th and 8 for the Warwick Wolves. But you could hear that clattering. Kamara's going to be back for this punt. So a bit of a high punt there, definitely caught the wind. But Kamada is able to kick it away quite short, and that's just going to bounce in front. And that is going to fall out of bounds around the 35. So second offensive soiree, so to say, for the Brunel Burners.
Let's go.
Burners throwing into the wind, going in this direction. But again, as I said last week again, Jelinski from Chicago, Windy City, though he did make sure to tell me off was that he didn't play much football in Chicago. But even still, it's a good little factoid. As you can see, the weather changing here. Under centre again. DM3 behind him, fakes it to DM3, throws it out wide. It's going to be a connection and out of bounds for a Brunel first down. This is that the Brunel Burners have been able to, put these big leads on people and really be able to show off. But I think this is the game where you're probably going to have to be a bit more conservative if you want to be punching your ticket to a trip to Loughborough. That is March 24th. So in a week and a half, a week and 2 days. Jelinski's going to take himself. He's got DM3 as a blocker. He's going to cut back in, but he is going to be taken down. But not before we get another Brunel first down. And we do have a Brunel Burner down there, and that is and that player down there is Travis Carpenter, a very, very key part of the Brunel Burners, like a kicker and a wide receiver. We got a lot of good games today. Hopefully we'll be able to update you on them as they come in. Of course. Bournemouth versus Hearts, that kicks off at 2. The Lancashire Rams versus the Edinburgh Napier Knights. Portsmouth versus SGS. And Durham taking on Loughborough. That one is also being live streamed. In case you're getting interested, ladies and gentlemen, in case you are interested, but don't go, Well, I prefer this game, but of course I do. I'm here. 6-0 currently the score here. Travis Carpenter being helped off here. You do hope that Travis Carpenter is able to come back. They'll go and see the medic, but that's not going to stop the Burners from a first down. Let's get the camera back in. Lots of noise from Warwick. Almost at a goal line stop against them. Makes it to DM3 again here. And Kamara has got it again. As Kamara in for a touchdown again. Let's wait for a signal. I don't think that's a touchdown. They're bringing the stick. Not quite a touchdown for Kamara, but another back right corner connection between Jelinski and Kamara. So maybe from the 4-yard line here. And it looks to be a turnover. And the Warwick Wolves have it. And then we hear their coaches screaming to get the ball. And on that particular time, the Warwick Wolves are successful preventing another score from the Brunel Burners. But the Warwick Wolves are going to be backed up in their own end zone. It's a bit of a windy day here. I know we're talking about long snaps, but the long snap was a bit lofty. But we're not talking about long snaps right now. We're talking about regular snaps. So it's going to be a run, just a mess. Imagine to find some space there in the middle. And it's so windy, it's blowing the camera. And there's nothing I can really do about that, which is thrilling. You just have to bear with me here, ladies and gentlemen. Just need to tighten up here. Second and 4. For the Warwick Wolves. There'll be a pass back to the left-hand side here. Trying to find number 14 on the right-hand side. Unable to find his target. It'll be a run to the right-hand side here from Trey. Found some space there. That is going to be enough for a first down. Looks like we are going to have an injured Warwick Wolf down. RU number 14. Sorry, number 4, the QB for the Warwick Wolves. Trying to get that ball up. That looks like I don't see any flags on the play. So it's going to stand here, but we are in a bit of a timeout here as we wait for the injured player to be seen. This job would be so much easier if it wasn't windy. Unfortunately, we do what we can. We do what we must. I know 2 weeks ago when we were here, it was the Chris Tebber complains about the wind show. But, I mean, it still is. It's just flat around here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a partnership with the Union Jack Classic head over to the Depth Chart Sports Instagram page. Look at the pinned videos. You'll see one there about the Union Jack Classic where we are doing a giveaway where you can win a shirt, a hat, a beanie, and some Kansas Jayhawk pins. So go there, enter that, make me look good. Also, Union Jack Classic coming September 19th at Wembley Stadium. Kansas Jayhawks, Arizona State Sun Devils. So that's not going to count. It's actually going to be a third and 8. FYI. Sound quality isn't the greatest. Nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. It is what it is. So Trey's got it again on the right hand side. Looks like horizontal running. Not going to be enough. The best I can do for you, Stuart, and also thank you for letting me know, of course, is that I think that has tilted my microphone. There we go. Hopefully that's a bit better. Let's move it down. There we go. So we saw a bit of a loftier punt last time. Getting caught by the wind there. Same again. But Kamada manages to get it away. So once again, the Brunel Burners starting in a very similar situation as last time. Fumbling the ball and being picked up by the Warwick Wolves the last time around. So 1.5 minutes in this first quarter in the semi-finals between the Brunel Burners and the Warwick Wolves. So last time getting to the goal line and fumbling it were Brunel. So Jalitsky's looking to the left-hand side. Wide open, it's number 18. But it looks like the Wolves are going to be able to stop him before a first down for Brunel. Stuart, tell me if that's any better. So splitting the sticks there is Brunel. At a 2nd and 5. Brunel looking to be the first team to compete in a promotion and relegation, or both of these teams, all 4 of the teams. Well, we don't know that for a fact. You know, we don't know what these teams are going to do if they win the whole thing. And a quick one out there to Kamara, but just unable to connect. So it's going to be 3rd and 5 for Brunel. Obviously, Brunel, they say, hey, we're trying to get to the National Premiership. Obviously, last year SGS won it and decided not to. Margin, it sounds like connection issues. Oh, well, there's nothing I can do about that. I've got full bars. A poor phone call with no signal. Well, nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. So Jelinski's looking. He's going to scramble. And down, but the question is, is that going to be a first down for Brunel? Yeah, we're just going to wait for the change to move, of course. Doesn't look like it. That looks to be a 4th and inches for the Burners. The Burners coaching staff. Yeah, it is going to be a first down. All right, took a while to get it right. So first down, fixed it. Wonderful. I think it was Joe. I think it was picking up the microphones from my glasses as opposed to from the microphone that I've got attached to my chest. There we go. But thank you very much, Stuart, for keeping everyone informed. Sorry about all that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back into it. So it goes to DM3 straight in the middle. Big turn of speed, but the Wolves stop DM3 right at the line of scrimmage, and that is going to be the end of the first half. So 6-0. So first half, first quarter. So 6-0 here. Warwick having a big stop on the goal line, getting that ball out, but Warwick not being able to get too much offensively going. But Jelinski and Kamara paying dividends here for Brunel. It wouldn't surprise me if Brunel were just trying to keep Warwick off the field, because Warwick are a team that really can, well, at least in my experience watching them, score early and then just hold. And they're masters of that, and it looks like Brunel are trying to replicate that same strategy here today, or they should be. Hang on. Sorry, they're sorting out the chains. And ladies and gentlemen, the Uniball Show Awards are coming at you on the 30th. So Jelinski's looking. He just fires it over his head. There we go. So third down. Is it third down? Well, that's what the stick says. And we go by what the stick says. So a bit of movement here on the line, swapping Joe and Elliott for Brunel. Jelinski's got it. He's going to take off. He's going to take off, and he's going to have a first down and a whole lot more for Christian Jelinski. I mean, I feel like the quarterback who very well may be leading the Brunel Burners to double promotion, or at least 2 trips to Loughborough. I mean, there could very well be statues built at number 3 if they are able to complete the goal. But right now they've got to get through. They've got to get through the Warwick Wolves. But Brunel's starting to pick up a bit of momentum here. But Jelinski there, Jelinski absolutely swarmed there by number 92 of the Warwick Wolves. And that is going to be a big old loss on the sack for the Brunel Burners. So, second and 15 now for Brunel. Trying to send some. Jelinski is going to try and fire one, and it's a quick one, and it's batted down. But I mean, this Warwick Wolves defense starting to cook now. Starting to cook the Burners. But just as the Brunel Burners were getting a bit more active, the Warwick Wolves come in and disrupt Jelinski twice. Third and 15. If you remember correctly, they managed to score on a third down last time. Brunel. Starting on their own 30 or 29, or Warwick Wolves 29-yard line. Sorry about that. I don't have a cough button, unfortunately, that I can easily access. It's empty formation for Brunel. And a quick one, but through the hands, and that is going to force a fourth down. And then the big question here for Brunel, as we saw, Travis Carpenter, their kicker, number 6, did go off for injury, but they are calling for the field goal. But who's kicking? So it's going to be number 34 now for Brunel to try and tack 3 more onto the board for him. Kick is up. Kick has some legs, but that's just going to go left. And the score is going to remain 6-0 for Brunel. But what a defensive stop there for the Warwick Wolves. So, i.e. number 4, tray number 8. So tray by his side, 14 in motion for him. It's going to be popped up to 14, but the jet sweep goes badly, and it is going to be taken by Brunel. And just as the Warwick Wolves were starting to build momentum, but the referees are having a discussion about whether that counts as a forward pass or not. I think that, and it is incomplete. It is incomplete. That is how it works with the Jets. That's how it works with the Jet. As much as I'm stood on the Brunel sidelines, I got to agree with the referees here. But yeah, incomplete forward pass. 2nd and 10. And Trey's got it up the middle, turn of speed. Tries to jump over number 27, but he just can't fully clear him. But it's going to be a gain of 4 on the play, staring down a 3rd and 6 for. Great call, just rewound it and checked. This is why I love Stuart. Stuart, I was just going to announce this, Stuart. He'll be on comms with me next week when we're at the Reading Knights versus the UE Bullets 2s over in Division 2. Which will be nice. Nice little inside Brickball DCS collab here. So he's looking. He's rolling, he's rolling, he's rolling, he's rolling. But he is stopped. He is stopped there, runs into 2 brick walls. And that is going to be a 4th. Not sure if that's going to go back for him. Looks like it's going to be a 4th and 6. Once again, the Warwick Wolves unable to get something going here on offense. Kamara, number 56, back to punt. Kamara, number 14, back to receive. So here we go. Better snap. Kamara's got it. Kamara boots it. Sorry, Kamara boots it. Drops it in front of Kamara. Takes an awkward bounce away from him. And they are just going to let that one roll. And that's going to take a Wolves roll. And now the Burners are going to be starting this drive. Only 6 points in this game. I'm sure the Brunel Burners are going to be talking about, was that a fumble? No, it definitely wasn't a fumble. Lock in. Lock in, guys. That's not how jet sweeps work. Alright, let's get everything set up here. Nice little bit of zooming in. Still windy, still disgusting. Still hate it. Right, we're in the second quarter here. I'm not sure if any of the other games have kicked off. I'm sure they have. I was going to look around. Can't find it. Can't find any. Right. So, Brunel on offense again. Run up the middle. Going over to the right-hand side. Lots of horizontal running there. Looks to be a gain of 4 on the play for Brunel. Yeah, I do think that they are being a bit more conservative today. They know what it's for. Durham low score, but their IG is... Sorry, just looking at Stuart here. Their live stream's behind a paywall. I swear Durham have let it all be free so far this year. To be fair, I think I've only watched the BUCS ones. Doesn't matter, we're not behind a paywall here. Well, that's because it's just a fat man in a field with a camera. Unbelievable stuff. So, going to be going this time to the left-hand side. Still trying to stay on his feet. Flag comes in. Less flags already today for Brunel than last game. No, let's see who it's on. So it's going to be on Warwick. Automatic first down for Brunel. Warwick, very, very well drilled team. Absolutely great performance from them. Be interesting to see. I'd love to see what they would be able to do at the national level. How they be supported. I mean, they have got a few games that they do play over at BUCS Park over in lovely Coventry. Kamara all by himself on the right. And a fresh set downs for Brunel. As they look to get to midfield. Fakes the handoff to DM3. Jelinski is going to take off. He's going to try and find number 8 and just in and out of the hands.
Yeah, I'll get SJ to count it. Tebs, you better count that as well.
What's that?
That fumble recovery.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Second and 10. Second and 10 for Brunel. Brunel, again, I get to say this quietly here because I'm on the Brunel sideline. Sometimes their receivers have got a bit of a problem. The problem is sometimes they just ain't got any hands, and it is something that is known at Brunel in what I've seen. But who knows what the reason could be. But second and 10 for Brunel. It's going to be a handoff. But a wall of wolves. Gosh, that's hard to say. A wall of wolves stopping DM3 there, but it is going to be a gain of 2. Looks to me to be a long one. A long one. More than 2. So we'll go with 2. Third and 8 here. Throw in. With the wind, I think. Throw in with the wind. Only 6-0. A flag comes in. So it looks to be a false delay of game. Yeah, gonna be delay of a game. Now a 3rd and 13 now for Brunel. Not the longest of journeys for Warwick to get down here for this semi-final. Animation, Jelinski fires out to Kamara. He's got some space, but brought down there. And that ball is out. That ball is out, and I think that may be Warwick football. I'm not going to fully say that. I'm going to wait for a referee's point. No, they're calling it Brunel football. So a decent amount of yards there gained by Kamara. 4th and 5. And the Brunel punt team makes an appearance. Good punt. Good punt there from Brunel. Taking a bounce. Oh, close to dead in that one. But that ball just had a bit too much speed on it. So a touchback for Brunel. So 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Space, 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 space. 14 is out wide. 14's out wide. Shaq. Tell Jalen, he needs to know, he needs to know. Outlaw, outlaw, outlaw.
So Warwick, of course, starting on their own 20.
Outlaw, outlaw.
Bit of a high snap there, goes to Trey. And swallowed up there by Brunel. That's going to be a loss of 3 on the play here. Second.
Look. Even, twist, see the bullets be. And I shouted it on purpose so they hear it.
So it's 2nd and 13 now for Warwick. And that ball is up. That's going to be picked up by Brunel. They're ruling it a fumble. They're ruling it a fumble. They're ruling it a fumble. And that.
No, but he was chest to chest. He was chest to chest. Come on. Hey.
So we've got 2 players down and a flag. A touchdown. A touchdown for Brunel. But will it stand? So referees initially ruling that a fumble. And they're going to be ruling that a blindside block by Brunel. But it is going to be Brunel football. It's going to be Brunel football. So not a touchdown for them on that play, but position. So it's not all doom and gloom here for Brunel. You know, 4.5 minutes remaining in Q2. Brunel lead by only 6 points. And if you watched our game last week with the Gloucestershire Gladiators and the QMBL Vipers, you know that game was 6-0 for a while, then 6-6. Brunel want to avoid that. But a blindside block wipes a TD off the board as they start on the Warwick 35. So, fake me out. And Kamara's got it on the left-hand side, gets round 1. And I don't entirely think that's going to be enough for a first down for Brunel. But I think that is going to be a 2nd and 1 for them. There we go. I was trying to be too fancy with it. Wow. I tell you what, there's some Brunel coaches may need to calm down a bit. They're risking a yellow flag, which they don't need. 2nd and 3. Goes to DM3. He's going to force it through there. But I think that's going to be right on the deadline of a first down or not. I think everyone's starting to feel the pressure here at Site 5 today. I think every team's feeling the pressure across the league. It's the biggest, most important weekend of uni ball action we have. Let's be real. We find out who goes to Loughborough. I can't wait. I can't wait for it. I'm going to be there all day. 3rd and 1 for Brunel. Now pushed him, and there we go. It doesn't have to be fancy, but that is how you get a first down. Again, this half winding down. I believe everyone has their timeouts, all 3 for both teams. Next week we will be at Reading versus the UE Bullets 2s, if you're interested in that. And then that could be the last one. That could be the last one. We bid you adieu. But ball is fumbled, snap is fumbled. Jelinski does manage to dive on it, but that is going to result in a loss for Brunel. Looks as though I think the centre there may have just believed he was under centre, and I think that may be the 2 minutes. It is. So 2-minute warning. 2 minutes exactly. The Brunel Burners bearing down on the Warwick Wolves in a game that is only 6-0. So this is as close as I thought it was going to be. I really didn't think that this game was going to be a big blowout. I think Warwick are obviously still in this by a long way. It's going to be a handoff to DM3. He's going to find some space on the right-hand side. It's going to be enough for a first down by the looks of things. So we're going to see... So it is going to be another first down for the Brunel Burners. 1:52 remaining. 1st and 10 for Brunel. Wind is very much picking up here, so I'd say expect a lot of 22 here. I say that as 22 goes out wide. That is DM3. And we've got a sea of yellow jerseys. Hunting for the end zone. Empty formation. Jelinski fires it into the centre, looking for Kamara. But Kamara just can't settle underneath it. 2nd and 10 for Brunel. 1:47 remaining. And it's going to be an injured Warwick Wolf on the play. Just going to take a knee here. Got to be impressed with the defence here of the Warwick Wolves, but I'd say part of it is also the Brunel Burners making some key mistakes here. We all know, if you're a Uniball fan, that the Brunel Burners and the playoffs, apart from last season, were like oil and water. The Burners could not get it done. They're currently 6-0 up. Obviously last year under new management with James Kelvin, they managed to break the Brunel Burners curse and get promoted up into the Prem. They're undefeated right now, but it's 6-0 inside the 2-minute warning. Referee signal. No, so we are back in here. The Warwick Wolves would love to perpetrate that narrative against the Burners. Jelinski's going to drop back. Jelinski's going to step up. Jelinski's going to make it there. His family is in attendance. They made the flights, and I believe Jelinski may be in there for a first down. Is that going to... So it's going to be a third and 1 now for Brunel. Clock is ticking. Clock is running. 3rd and 1 for Brunel. They get this. It's either going to be a touchdown or they're going to be positioned at the 1, 2 or 3 yard line. Simple as that. But the clock is running here for Brunel. Well, the clock's running for both teams. You know what I mean. So Jelinski's running left.
Get it!
And there's going to be a flag on the play. Another touchdown for Brunel.
Holding 64.
So holding on Brunel. Another touchdown for the Burners, are wiped off the board because of a penalty. And that is going to make it a much less manageable. Much less manageable 3rd and 11. Travis Carpenter, their normal kicker, out. They've tried 1 field goal. It went left. 3rd and 1. Jelinski drops. Jelinski fires it to DM3. At DM3.
I'll take it.
So DM3 just crushing one of the photographer's stools. That's not that. Don't worry, Elizabeth. That crunch was not his camera. That was the stool he was sitting on. So don't worry about that. So it's going to be another field goal attempt here from Brunel. Kick is up, and it hits the post, and it is no good. I mean, we've not had a thwack like that in uni ball in a long time, but the score remains here at half time. Well, not half time, with mere seconds remaining in this first half. Only 6-0 to the Brunel Burners.
Kill that then, kill that. Makes sense. 5 seconds. Just don't fuck it up.
So 36 seconds remaining here for Warwick.
Jaden, you're on Hunter.
I believe everyone's got all of their timeouts remaining. You can tell Warwick, they're going faster. We saw last year in that playoff game with Cardiff, they'd run that sneak, and there's some space there, and the Warwick Wolves have done it again. They love that play. It's disgusting, and it always works. Warwick moving faster. They have got timeouts, but it's going to be enough. You saw that the Burners managed to catch the man going around the left-hand side. Going quick again here are the Wolves. Same formation. Flag on the play, but 6 has got it for Warwick. Gosh, I mean, that play's working against the Brunel Burners. That's an elite level play, and that is textbook Warwick Wolves. But it's going to be an illegal shift on the Warwick Wolves, and that's coming back. No one was set there from referee Seb. No one was set. So The Warwick Wolves managed to gain a hell of a lot of yardage in a short amount of time for that penalty. But the first timeout, 12 seconds remaining. I've dubbed it the Warwick wedge. Yeah, Stuart's absolutely right. It's the Warwick wedge. It's money. It's absolute money.
How is he getting out? But he stays back. He stays back. Because what it's meant to do is it makes everyone think the play's dead, and then he'll just.
SJ having a breakdown behind me about this.
It looks like we're playing Essex. Yeah, it works.
I mean, the Warwick wedge. Yeah, this is it. Last year when it was short against Cardiff, 2 of those plays went the way of the Wolves, and they took it to the semi-finals where they beat Portsmouth, made it to the finals. They're in the same situation this time, except this time in the semis, and this time against Brunel.
You see what he's doing?
So timeout by Warwick. So just a simple 4 seconds here. Going to be a second and 6. Nope, 2nd and 7. Lock in. Going for it again. And brings him down there, but a flag on the play. And if it's on Warwick, so no foul on the play. And that is going to be the end of the first half here at Site 5. We've got a game with our ads, ladies and gentlemen. It's as simple as that. The Brunel Burners only up by 6. This is not classic Brunel football this year. The Warwick Wolves are taking it to them. And the Warwick Wolves, I mean, within that play, I think the Warwick Wolves know that momentum is starting to heat up for them. But I mean, what a game. It is by no means over. Interesting. We'll see you in about 20 or 15 minutes for the second half. As it stands right now, at half time, in the Premiership, semi-final, here at Site 5. The Brunel Burners 6, the Warwick Wolves 0. Right, we are back. Slight technical errors. But we're back. Only missed the kickoff. It's only missed the kickoff. Bang. Trying to find a piece of grass that isn't as lumpy. That's a bit too close. So Warwick know that this now works for them, and Brunel are going to have to stop the Warwick wedge. I think there may even be some, but I mean, look at that. On that Warwick wedge, being able to get a gain of a 6. But this does work. This is a tried and tested strategy here for the Wolves. Going for it again. But once again, look at that. Another decent gain there. Third and 3. You know, they very well may Warwick wedge Brunel to death here and get him out of Loughborough. We do have a score update for you. The Hertfordshire Hurricanes are leading the Bournemouth University Bobcats for who is getting promoted up into the south. Going for it again here. It's a bit of a mess. The Burners shut it down. No whistle yet. There we go. So 4th and 3 for Warwick. Doesn't look like they're bringing their punting unit on here. So here we go for Warwick. Full start there, flags come flying and the Brunel sideline goes wild. So 4th and 8. So of course now it's going to be the punting unit of the Warwick Wolves coming on. Bit of a lofty snap here, Kamada gets his hands on it, gets it away, going to the right hand side there, taking a Warwick bounce, and that is going to go for a touchback. Warwick unable to wrap that ball up. So again, only 6-0 is the score. Warwick have had some goal line stops, forcing a fumble on the goal line. A lot more even than I thought it would be. So, pass out to Kamara, but Kamara just cannot get his hands on it. Wind is dying down here. It's been a problem all day for Brunel. The receivers are just unable to make the connection with the ball and bring it in. 2nd and 10 for the Burners. A trip to Loughborough on the line. And with that, whoever makes it up to Loughborough, whoever wins that game, dependent on if they won it, will face Leeds Beckett on April 5th for a chance in the National Premiership. So you've got to win 3 games to get there. From right now, Jelinski changing the call. Northern playoffs, Southern playoffs. Southern final, Northern final happening in Div 1 today. Jelinski's going to toss it out to DM3 and he's going to take it across. A lot of running there from David Moore III. And he's still on his feet. Calls to push him. Looks as though we may have an injured Burner on the right hand side of the pitch. This is getting chippy here. And so it should be. Normally I'm not really for games getting, you know, chippy, but you know, this is the semi-finals. You've got to put some more passion into it. It's the difference between playing for a championship and going home. Simple as that. So you're going to spin it around here just to make sure that everything is nice and tight. You do get to see my lovely whole Sharks hoodie. So 3rd and 5. Third and 5 in the third. We did speak to some players at half time and they've said that the wind is absolutely killing them today. Jelinski throws a bomb here for Kamara and it is almost picked. But 4th and 5 for Brunel. Going to be giving the game back, the ball back to the Warwick Wolves. And the Wolves have started to implement the wedge.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know.
14 for Warwick. Back to receive. Give me 1 second.
I was so like certainly that was such an interesting time. Everything was changed. A lot of people came into play like.
Trying to draw him offside. Brunel tried to snap that ball at the middle, and now the Warwick Wolves are going to have that ball in great field position, and then a flag comes in. I don't really know what the strategy of that was. There was nothing there. I'm sure that there's some. I'm sure there was some. The coaches on the Brunel sideline are a bit worried here, but a flag comes in late, and I fear this flag may be against Brunel. So a turnover on downs for Warwick, and then some extra yards added on for a flag from Brunel. But we'll lock in here with our referees. Having a chat here. Obviously we've got some great games going on today. We'll keep you updated for when the scores come in. But the only one we've got so far is the Hertfordshire Hurricanes leading the Bournemouth University Bobcats 7-0. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Uniball. Okay, so that's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Warwick, which is obviously getting a turnover on downs, but they're going to be doing it from a less advantageous field position. But still, looks like that may just be bang on the 50, to be completely honest. No, not even. So still starting within Brunel territory are the Warwick Wolves. That wedge has been working, but the Wolves are going to move away from it. Don't want to show you best hand already for Warwick. First and 10. Trey number 8 in the backfield. Trying to draw the Burners offside. Going to go to Trey up the middle. And the Burners just going to squash that one right in the centre of the field. Could even be potentially for a loss for the Warwick Wolves. Also, do join us on the Uniball show tomorrow at 7 p.m, where it's going to be a recap of this weekend's games and also a preview of the Division 2 semi-finals coming your way next Sunday. We will be live streaming the Reading Knights versus the UE Bullets 2s. Looking forward to that one. 2nd and 11 here for Warwick. Oh, he's looking. There's definitely some space. But just falls in front of number 14. But I mean, I think that may have just put the Brunel Burners, maybe give them some goosebumps, maybe some squeaky bum time, because there was certainly space there for number 14. I believe it's Famalusi, number 14. Flag comes in after the play, and I think this is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Brunel. And that looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Brunel. And they had them at 3rd and 11, but now with that free 15 yards, it is 1st down, Warwick. Unfortunately, because it was on the other side of the field, I can't tell you what the player in question was discussing with our officials. But what we do know is that he's going to move the Warwick Wolves closer to tying this game up and potentially even leading it as well. Family formation. They're bringing it into that tight formation here. That heavy formation, they're going to be forcing it. Whistle's not blown. But the Wolves here are gaining good yardage with that play. I think maybe apart from 2 times they've run it, they've managed to gain 3-4 yards. But 2nd and 6. It wouldn't surprise me if they're going to try and do that all the way to the end zone. 14 and 5 out on the edges. So not going to bring it in there. Bit of a high snap there, but Trey has got it on the left-hand side for them. Breaks off one tackle. It's going to be enough for maybe just shy of a 1st down for the Wolves. Maybe just shy, but looked to be an errant snap there. I mean, if you can, direct your snaps to the running back, that's always spectacular. But number 8 for the Wolves, Trey, managing to grab that ball nice and quickly, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and inches for the only Northern team left in the Premiership playoffs in the 25-26 British University American football season. 3rd and 1, almost down at the 10. It's going to be going to the right-hand side here. That's going to be enough. That is going to be enough for another Warwick Wolves 1st down. And I think the Brunel Burners are having to they're going to be having to think about what it's like to go down. To be on the receiving end. To be losing the football game. It's been a great strategy so far from Warwick today. They've managed to keep themselves in it with Brunel. Trey has got it, but storm through there. And I mean, that is exactly what you need. And that is going to be able to drop it back. 2nd and 13. Maybe not. Maybe number 27. He doesn't see the reality of going down here. So 2nd and... Why is it saying 2nd and 7? So Trey's got it round the right-hand side, but he is brought down. Oh, it's just not working on here. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's not working on my screen. It's not working on one of my screens for the down and distance. So just checking it, but it does work, so it's all fine. So, I mean, a great defensive showcase there in the last two from Brunel. As my tablet keeps falling over. Third and 13 for the Warwick Wolves. In the third quarter, 86 points down. What can they cook up here? That is the question. Oh, he's looking. That's a high point ball. And that is going to fall dead. It's going to be a 4th and 13. And we know that the offense for the Burners is elite. But after that stop, keeping the Brunel Burners on top. And the field goal unit with number 56, Kamada, who was slicing them earlier, pulling off some great kicks into the wind, is going to be looking to put the Warwick Wolves on the board. Feel a little bit of rain here. Kick is up, and the kick sails to the left, and the Brunel Burners keep a 6-point lead. As I see splats of rain appearing on the tablet. It's third down and the Brunel Burners take over. But what a display there by the Burners defense to be able to keep them at a 6-point lead, and a kick for Kamada going to the left. Oh, here we go. It's starting to rain. There is a storm brewing at Site 5. Got a bunch for Brunel under centre course. Jelinski has still got it. Jelinski's looking for a ball, and McFarland. And that is that incomplete? No, it wasn't Cole McFarland that brought it in, but it was Elliott. And I mean, he's had some drops today. But Brunel now with a big pass down the field. Building on the momentum that their defence was able to create for them with that stop. On the 40-yard line. Starting on the 40-yard line here of the Warwick Wolves. Man in motion. DM3 coming our way. He's reversed aside the field. I mean, being able to break that first bit of contact was DM3. And a flag comes in. And it's going to be... And the Brunel Burners. Brunel Burners shooting themselves in the foot. And a good run there from DM3. Wiped off the history books. But the unsportsmanlike conduct, it could be me. I said it earlier that I'm impressed at Brunel. They've managed to really tighten it up a bit for the flags, but unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Still 6-0. Second and 20 for them. It's going to be a run up the middle. And a great amount of yardage there from DM3. He's going to be able to get it down to a... third and 9. third 9 for him here. Jalinski's going to look out to this side. But swarmed, and that's not going to be enough for a Brunel. First down looks to me to be a 4th and 4. But the Brunel Burners do not look to be bringing on their punting unit. 4th and 4. Be shouts to be disciplined from the Warwick coaches. Do you think the Brunel are going to be able to, or at least try to draw the Warwick Wolves offside? So here we go. Jalinski's got it. Jalinski's got it himself. Jalinski has got a first down.
13-0, G-Clan.
Over
3-0.
Over Knights.
And then 14-7 to
Right, so we do have some more updates. The Rams are winning. The Lancashire Rams are winning.
13-0.
13-0 over Napier. Good on the Rams. And the Bournemouth Bobcats have managed to get back into it. 14-7 over the Hertfordshire Hurricanes. Come on. I mean, I do like the Knights up the Rams. Goes to DM3, and he is caught at the line and brought down there. Is that going to be a loss on the play? It's a fractional gain there on that play. That's not even a 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10 here. Warwick's 22-yard line. 2nd and 10. Jalinski's got it. Jalinski drops back. Jalinski moves around the pocket.
Get outside!
Jalinski's going. And it's going to be enough for a first down for Brunel. And that is going to be the end of quarter number 3. There is only 12 minutes remaining in game to decide who goes to Loughborough on March 24th. And a big run from Christian Jalinski puts them in great field position to be able to extend that score, but that's going to flip the field, so we're going to just move slightly closer because we can block him. But yeah, currently the Lancashire Rams defeating the Edinburgh Napier Knights. Good. I tell you what, if the Rams do it, I mean, all credit to the Rams. The problem is that both the Napier Knights and the Rams, I'd personally say, do deserve to be in the Premiership, but there can only be one. There can only be one. Bournemouth leading Hearts as well. I wish I did speak about it on the show on Friday. I wish I could just cut myself into 5 pieces just so I can have a body part at every game this weekend, just to say I was there. But I was told reliably that wasn't a good idea. Fifth? Fourth, there we go. 5th. Right. So it's going to be a 1st and goal here for Brunel. Kamara in motion. DM3 round the left-hand side. Flags come in. Could we see the 3rd touchdown of the day for Brunel wiped off the board? So let's see what this is. Looks like he's going to be on Brunel. Brunel shooting themselves in the foot here. We've seen that is now the 3rd touchdown of the day wiped off the board. So it's first and a long way. We're still first and goal for them. Empty for Jelinski. Nope, actually Damien Waterfell's back to him. And it pops to DM3 himself. And he's got some space, breaks round. Ball is out, ball is out. And now this could be absolutely critical here. And that is going to remain Brunel football. A good run from DM3. So here we go. I'm going to say that's going to be, I'm going to say a 3rd and 3, just to be safe. Hand off to DM3 round the left hand side, and he's not going to be able to get there in my opinion. No, he is, and it is going to be enough for a touchdown for Brunel. From my angle, obviously he must have extended the ball over. Kickoff, 12-0. Cole McFarland in here, going to be acting as QB. For a bit of added safety here, Brunel need to get this converted. Goes to Cole on the left-hand side. He's got some space. Flags come in again for Brunel. It's windy, it's rainy, it's disgusting, but Brunel are in the lead. So, I think that may have been ineligible, but don't quote me on that. It's horrible. The back of me is very cold. Not that anyone cares, but with that, Brunel are going to elect to attempt a field goal. Can they get it done here? Kick is up, kick is away, kick is blocked. So it's going to remain 12-0 in the 4th. By no means is this game over for the Warwick Wolves.
Let's go. Hey, bring it in. Got nobody out there.
All right, it's crunch time of both of these teams. Currently, a trip to Loughborough for Brunel. In the other games, the Rams leading the Edinburgh Napier Knights 14-0. And the Bournemouth University Bobcats leading the Hertfordshire Hurricanes 14-7. It's such a big game this Sunday. It is kicked away. Good kick there. Warwick settle underneath it. There is some space. Probably more space than Brunel wanted. But by no means is this over for the Wolves. 12-0 is the score. Can they use some of that magic they were able to implement last season? As Stu's going to update me with another score. Stuart. No, he's got it. So it's half time. Half time in Bournemouth versus Hearts. 14-7. I mean, Watching Hearts versus OBU, they can make a half-time adjustment. They are good at that. Bit of a high snap there for IE. It bounces on the floor, and that is going to be recovered by Cole McFarland, and the Brunel Burners are going to take over in absolutely amazing field position. And now that could be the crucial mistake for the Warwick Wolves if the Brunel Burners are able to score and put themselves ahead by 3 scores. Well, 3 touchdowns anyway, in the 4th. So ball on the 27. A big gust of wind. Goes to DM3 around the left-hand side. No, Jelinski's still got it. He fires to Kamara. Settles underneath it. No flags, and another Bournemouth touchdown. And what wide open. Wide open. And that score may be sending the Brunel Burners to Loughborough. Looking for the field goal now. Kick is up. Kick is good. 19-0 is the score. Now that makes it very, very tricky for Warwick. 12-0, manageable comeback territory. 19-0. Questionable. 7 minutes remaining. Again, not undoable here for Warwick, but given the offense, can they get it done? Right now the marquee says Brunel. A cold chill in the air. Kick is up. Kick is away. Kick is bouncing off the floor. Number 17 for Warwick struggled to get a hold of that. Breaks one tackle, breaks another. But the Brunel Burners swarm and the momentum is on their side. And they are going to pin the Warwick Wolves back at what looks like their own 3-yard line. Both teams have got all 3 timeouts remaining. Let me set the down marker. So another wayward snap, but this time he managed to get hold of it. Looking for number 17, but cannot connect. 2nd and 10 for Warwick. That Premiership North's going to be interesting. Obviously, we don't know who's coming up to it yet, but the Rams are in front. Interesting. So another play here, trying to force it up the middle of Warwick. They certainly are. That's going to be a decent enough game for Warwick. 3rd and 7 for the Wolves. You should see if they go back to the wedge for Warwick, because it was giving them a decent amount of yardages. But it seems as though the Burners may have just figured it out slightly too much. Obviously looking through the air, looking for a heave, and that is going to be intercepted by Brunel and heading back to the Warwick end zone. And 34 goes all that way. And I think we're going to have a flag on the play here, and I think it's going to be against Warwick. 2 flags come in here. I think there's a chance they're both against Warwick. We've got a little bit of unsportsmanlike. I think we're going to have maybe a blindside block and then some unsportsmanlike conduct, but an interception for Warwick once an interception for Brunel. And dependent on these flags could end up putting the Brunel Burners in great field position. But we're going to have to lock in here. Another score for Brunel, and it becomes a bit untenable here for the Warwick Wolves. I always say I try to maintain the faith as best I can, but when it gets to 3 scores down in the 4th, sub 5 minutes, it gets a bit difficult. Obviously it can happen, you know, any given Sunday. Referee's having a chat here. Long old chat. Here, both teams. So blindside block from Warwick. So half distance to the goal. First. I might see what they do with the chains here, because I'm not sure if this would be 1st and goal or not. I'm fairly certain that's what some of the coaches at Warwick are asking as well. So, right. Are those going down? Okay, it's 1st and 10. There we go. Settled it in there. Right, 1st and 10 here for Brunel. On the Warwick, what looks to be 20-yard line. So D, number 11's got it. Pushed him forward, pushed him through. I think that might be Selden Oso. And that is immediately converted into a 1st and goal for Brunel. Could we see 3 scores in quick succession for the Burners to put this game on ice? Put this game on ice and book themselves a ticket to their 2nd final in as many years. Jelinski fumbles well, he's got it himself. He's going to try and take it himself. There's some space for Christian, and Jelinski hits Pader. No flags on the play, and another 6 points for Brunel. And I mean, what a great play that was from Jelinski. That snap was a little bit errant, but he managed to get a hold of it, go over to the left, see the right was wide open. 25-0 is the score here at Site 5, where the Brunel Burners may be for the final time. The plan of James Kelvin to get the Burners up to the National Premiership may advance to its next step. Brunel first charge timeout, but it's cold. But the Burners still hot there. A fraught game here. 6-0 turns into 25. And they're going to fake it. And Cole trying. And Cole can't get it. 25 remains. The last Northern team trying to see if I've got any more updates. Sorry about my fingers there. No more updates. I'm sure I'll get some more. The only update you need right now, Brunel 25, Warwick 0. It is freezing. It is freezing here at Site 5.
What's the onside? Onside! Six left!
So kick away for Brunel. Looks as though falling foul to the classic uni ball issue here, which is you recover the ball with your knee down. Or was it a fair catch? I didn't see if it was a fair catch. I didn't see him make a signal. But I was looking at the ball flying through the air. So, you know, do what you can. Do what you can. Oh, God. I'd imagine less than 5 minutes remaining. Timeout by Warwick. Oh. And the coaches at Warwick unhappy with the call, it seems. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be with you tomorrow for the Uni Ball show starting at 7 PM, where we will recap all of the games that have happened today and also be previewing the Division 2 semi-finals. Yes, we'll be doing a preview on Monday, just so we can have something coming your way on Friday. It is. I'm not just having a Friday off, ladies and gentlemen. I am doing content on Friday, but just making sure I'm able to do that. So that'll be with you at 7 PM, and then on next Sunday we will be at the Reading Knights versus the UE Bullets 2s, where I will be joined by Stuart from inside Britball on the comms. And then, of course, March 24th at Loughborough. It is the start of BUCS Big Wednesday, which means Division 1, Premiership and National Premiership football take the main stage. Turns out it's not paywalled. Okay. What was that, Stu? You just couldn't work your way around it. Oh dear. I don't know what the score is. I'm sure I might just be. I'm about to get an update on the score from Durham versus Loughborough. We expect Durham to be walking away with that one. Obviously, the UE Bullets beating the Nottingham Gold yesterday 42-21. The UE Bullets once again going to Loughborough for the finals. And we expect it to be the Durham Saints who will be there to welcome them. So that jet goes forward again. So the jet once again caused a bit of commotion here. The Wolves not going anywhere. 3rd and 10. There's not going to be too much long left in this game, I suspect. And then all eyes turn to the Portsmouth Destroyers versus the... Oh yeah, so it isn't. Oh no, that's fine. The Portsmouth Destroyers versus the SGS Pride, for who is going to be facing very likely to be taken out of bounds here. Is that a Warwick Wolves first down? That is the question. Who will be facing very likely the Brunel Burners in Loughborough on the 24th. But I just can't wait to see those results of those Division 1 games. Bournemouth and Hearts. Bournemouth currently leading. The Rams of Lancashire versus the Knights of Edinburgh Napier. We have the Rams currently leading in that one. Fresh set of downs for the Wolves. Half time. The Lancashire Rams lead the Edinburgh Napier Knights 13-0. Thank you very much, Stuart, for that one. I imagine. So a flag comes in. This is good. So this is going to be an interesting one. I think Brunel are about to get a penalty for leaving the delay a game on Brunel because they left the kicking tee out there. So that's going to be 5 yards, 3-5 for the Burners.
From what we wrote, it's vague. I can't tell you what it is yet.
So 3-5 there for the Wolves. Remember to collect your kicking tees, ladies and gentlemen. Ball goes out, ball hits the turf. 2nd and 10, 2nd and 5. So you're saying that.
And if they're talking yabba yabba, you know he's likely in front of you. Say something, if he doesn't, get
2nd and 5. I wish Bournemouth and Hearts was being streamed. Or I'd be watching that, watching this, watching that, watching this. But it is what it is. So McFarland coming in. Being able to get him off there. 2nd and 5. Going to be going for the wedge here. That's going to be enough for a first down for Warwick. And we're going to have a Warwick Wolf down here. So how long's left?
About 7 minutes.
Really? Wow, I thought it'd be a lot shorter. So 7 minutes remaining in this game. I had it all wrong. I thought it'd be about 4 or 5. Still a big climb here for the Wolves, but they're making good headway. 1st and 10 for Warwick. Fakes the reverse. And being brought down there. Still going to be a good game for the Wolves. And a great catch there from Seb, the referee. It's going to...
outside in.
So you bit, don't bite. You can't bite. You can't bite. Black! Dennis!
2nd and 1.
Tobias, watch 5, Tobias. If you release, you got to go with him.
Hey, watch 5!
2nd and 1. Just a classic.
Inside,
That's enough for a first down for the Wolves.
Come here. Do your job inside. Jaden. Come on, man. Yeah, they are. Why do you get such dark? It's not even a question about it. It's so hard. No! D-line, play like Spawn! Spawn, play Spawn!
So fresh to the downs here for the Wolves. This has been working for them for the majority of the game here.
There you go, there you go. It's in the middle! Oh, wow!
And the Wolves push forward. Are they going to rule that enough for a Warwick Wolves first down?
Time out, sir. Every time out, please.
So fresh to the downs for Warwick.
You got power to call him. Wait, full license.
So Brunel obviously in the middle of a timeout. Seemingly quite unhappy with how they've not really been able to defend this Warwick wedge, but they have done it at times.
Just sideways.
But down at the 12 now are the Warwick Wolves.
That's why you're making a dab. End of the second half. In the box. Yeah, in the box. It's when you go outside they have issues.
Don't worry what happens in the middle, the edge is used. Ignore the middle.
No, sorry, the 16-yard line. Wolves line up again in that heavy set.
Close up, way closer, out, out. Stay
Five
there,
moves
stay
around.
there.
Goes to number 5, and he's got some space here.
Let's go, Wade! They got that Shaq, where you at? Shaq! Shaq's already out. Oh, he's not there.
2nd and 2.
Oh, he's in the corner.
Durham 49, Loughborough 13
Switch.
currently
You
up
two
there.
Switch. Katie and Shaq switch. Get your nose in there, Shaq.
Inside the 2-minute warning in the 4th. So 2nd and 3 here for Warwick.
Go, Shaq.
Warwick pushing, Warwick pushing.
Go on, Wayne. Go on, Wayne.
Where are they going to put that?
Wayne.
Is that
If he
going
moves
to
you
be
again, you're
a
off the
first
field.
down? And it is going to be
If he moves you again, you're off the field.
and it's going to be a first down.
Do what you're good at. Get low, Wayne. Come on, Wayne.
How long's left?
Come on.
Clock's got to be eaten. 4.5 quid at this rate, isn't it?
Come on, Wayne.
So down at the 6-yard line are the Warwick Wolves.
Sneak left. Sneak left. Right. Sneak right. Sneak right. Sneak right. Sneak right. Sneak right.
So once again, Warwick pushing. Come on, Wayne. Yeah, no, they can hear it. Yeah.
Not even boring. It's even if you score now, you now can't win. So what are you doing?
Just injuring players. Safety for an extra big line.
Yeah, it's loads of time. It's loads of time.
Oh, Dennis.
No, they've got to burn it down.
Oh, fuck.
Give me Rahul. Good play, D-tackle. Wait.
It's the leads in this formation.
Who wants to play D-tackle?
I'm telling you here now.
I can push Jerry's in.
I can
push Jerry's in.
Wait, stop. Sam.
I can push Jerry's in.
Yes. Jerry said.
This is weird, right, being right in the mix.
It's not saying you can't do it. It's saving your fucking knees right now.
So Brunel. Obviously take a timeout.
Try it, back down.
Loughborough
Try to bribe himself in.
versus Durham, 49-13 in that one. Setting up I think the final everyone thought that we would end up with, which is the UE Bullets versus the Durham Saints. But in Division 1, the Lancashire Rams currently lead the Edinburgh Napier Knights 13-0. And the last check-in we got The Bournemouth University Bobcats lead 14-7.
Right. BU.
Nothing for Portsmouth versus SGS, who will likely be facing the Brunel Burners. From the 4-yard line now for Warwick on second down. They're going to push it forward, and that is going to be a Warwick touchdown.
Hooray!
Hey, defense, stay out.
So Warwick,
For their shameless participation, touchdown.
There's no point injuring our players. So that's like
so Kamada kicks it through, and that is 25-7 is the score. Warwick put it on the board there. That wedge, which has been successful for them, does manage to wipe the egg off of the board. But it's still a case of Brunel. Still ahead, way almost. I tell you what, if you try for an onside kick, you've got to love it. Could you imagine? Stuart's just said, "Is the comeback on?" Well, the comeback is on, is it? If they do it, I mean, just give Warwick the trophy already. Hang on. Oh, it is freezing cold here in Site 5. Oh, it's okay, so I was about to ask.
no, Bournemouth now. I think UConn are still in the at half,
Yeah, 13-0 I got.
and then Bournemouth out of the half. They've been out for a good couple of minutes.
Okay. How do you know that?
I follow basically every team.
Okay. Full time, Durham. So it is going to be Durham versus Uwe. It's going to be an onside. Goes through, but manages to recover it. Does Brunel. And the comeback, huh? 49-13 full time, Durham. Yeah. So we know at least one of the games. We know the main event for March 24th in Loughborough. It will be the University of the West of England Bullets versus the Durham Saints. The 1 seed in Durham, the 2 seed in the Bullets. Begs the question, is it time? Is it time for a new national champion? And in a short while, we'll know one of the teams that will be heading for the Premiership final. Will it be Brunel? I mean, Warwick needs everything to go right here. And it's going to be a handoff. A decent run here. I don't think we're going to hear any timeouts here. Then obviously in Division 1, as it stands, as far as we're aware, Lancashire lead the Edinburgh Napier Knights 13-0. And the Bournemouth University Bobcats lead the Hertfordshire Hurricanes 14-7. I think any permutations of Div 1 is a good final. Jelinski's looking. Jelinski launches! Oh my God! And Kamara! Jelinski! Kamara! Absolute magic. Oh my God. Hang on. There we go. Just disgusting. That was... What could you say? Yeah, the comeback isn't on. What a ball! What a ball from Jelinski. I mean, he'll ask me who the MVP is for today, but I mean it's between him and Kamara, both of which already have the DCS hats, and we will be giving DCS hats out for the final. So everyone just load up here. So Cole McFarland in at QB. Flag comes in. It is streaming. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's streaming. Okay, I'll do it from my phone then. Ugh. Not the worst thing in the world. So 31-7 is the score here for Brunel. And like that 25-7, there could have been something magical. But Jelinski to Kamara, I think the Brunel SU should probably start looking at coaches to Loughborough. So Cole's going to take himself, fires it. No good. 31-7 is the score. Oh. Not long left. I think this part of the game is just me waiting for updates for other games. Oh gosh, the chill in the air is disgusting. As the Brunel Burners, are just a couple of games away. Oh, Stewart coming in with some heat, The Hertfordshire Hurricanes now lead the Bournemouth Bobcats 15-14 in Q3. So, yeah. Wow. I wish I was there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I could say. But we will talk about it tomorrow on the Evil Show at 7 PM. So Brunel to kick it away. Boosting it down the field. Bounces over his head. And goes out of bounds at the 1. So the flag's going to come in. And Brunel. And the Warwick Wolves are going to be starting on the 40. Going to re-kick it. Hopefully we're going to be able to give you a score update. How long's left?
2.5 tips.
2.5 minutes, wonderful. Thank you. So 2.5 minutes remaining. And personally, I think this game's put to bed, and all this is doing is keeping me and everyone else here out in the freezing cold. I'm not enjoying myself. You know what? I've never enjoyed myself at Site 5. I mean that. I've never ever enjoyed myself at Site 5. Oh, my quads. Oh. Yeah, and we're now looking. DCS is now looking for who's going to be our Uniball team next year. So everyone lock in, all you Uniball players and coaches and things. If you want live streams, not like this live streams, like the big live streams, the big production live streams. Because will it be Brunel again? That is the question. Going to be returned by Warwick. Just met in the middle. 2.5 remains. And the Brunel Burners, the next time you'll see them, will be under the glimmering lights of BUCS Big Wednesday. Probably Bristol Barracuda, Stuart. Let's be real. It probably will be the Barracuda. Not to spoil that for anyone, but depending on where Brunel play next year, it's probably going to be the Bristol Barracuda. Tee! The next time you're going to see the Brunel Burners playing is going to be under the bright lights of Loughborough. BUCS Big Wednesday kicking off. Touchdown Tuesday on the 24th. The wedge is real. The toss is on. They're still fighting. But who is going to join them at Loughborough? We know the Uwe Bullets and the Durham Saints are going to meet for a third time. I tell you what, I can't wait for that one. I can't wait for that one. That's going to be a game that is going to feed families, specifically my family, specifically me. And then we know it's going to be Brunel. Is it going to be SGS? Or is it going to be Portsmouth that is awaiting them? There's some space here for Warwick. There is some space here for Warwick. And that's going to be another touchdown for the Wolves. I can't quite believe this. The Warwick Wolves put another TD on the board. That wedge is absolutely lethal. So Warwick to kick it through. Kick is up. Kick is good. And to be fair, the Warwick Wolves now, you know, there's not much time remaining. I imagine we're probably due for the 2-minute warning. But an onside kick here from Warwick and a quick score like that, you know.
15-14 hearts.
Yeah, I've got that one. Thank you, though.
I told that to SJ, he started going mental.
It's crazy, isn't it, though?
And then you can't just help the half.
Yeah, cool. So Lancashire at a half here. They're still up 13-0. As you know, the Hertfordshire Hurricanes are now up by a single point. I think this is going to be an onside kick. Why wouldn't you? I want a drink of water, but their bottles are over there and they're probably about to onside kick it. This is the type of commentary you only get in uni ball from Christopher Tebbett. I'm the only person who can deliver this to you. Is me talking about I just want the water bottles. Right, Kamada to kick it away. Expect onside. A quick score from Warwick. Yeah, it's onside. And Brunel collect. I'm going to try and get a water. Oh, my legs. Oh, it's long. There we go. So 2-minute warning still hasn't hit in this game yet. I don't think. So Cole McFarland now in at quarterback for Brunel. Goes to him. Goes to 11. Fights through. And a timeout called by the Warwick Wolves. One minute, 45 seconds left in the season for for the Warwick Wolves. 31-14. My last uni ball game was against the Warwick Wolves, if anyone was interested. You're not, you shouldn't be. But it's true, true little factoid. So McFarland rolls. Flag comes in, going to be holding. Probably. Lots of whistles. They just don't ever want this game to end, do they? I hate it when teams do this. Holding on the offense. And so as it stands right now, as this game winds down, got to be impressed with the Warwick Wolves. They definitely deserve to be here. By the Brunel Burners. I think I'm impressed with Brunel, which is strange to say because you look at their season, you're like, yeah, of course you're impressed with them. This is adversity that I feel like the Burners haven't really faced in games that I've seen. But managing to just come out in this second half, credit to the coaching staff, credit to the players. They're going to Loughborough. Hand off to 36. So 1 minute 20 remaining. Warwick using their third and final.
Bournemouth 20, Hearts 15.
So Bournemouth take over the lead in their game with Hearts. The Bobcats lead 20-15. Good game. I can't wait to find out who wins that one. Ew. I don't know why I get so excited about uni ball. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Third and 21. Third and 21. Or something like that. Ball goes on the floor. McFarland barely scoops it up. He's getting away. But fourth down. But the clock's running. And the punting unit for Brunel is going to be coming out now.
I was close.
Not over here. Brunel, they're going to call a timeout as close as they can. Yep. So 21 seconds. 21 seconds remain in this game. 21 seconds remaining in this game. Brunel lead 31-14. Ball goes over the head. Could be big for Warwick. That's going to settle down here at the 5. The Warwick Wolves. The Warwick Wolves have a little bit of life. Yeah, I know. That's a song, isn't it? The Warwick Wolves have some life here. Oh. I can hear it from the huddle. The Warwick Wolves saying the game's still on. And to be fair, they're absolutely right. A little bit of panic here from Brunel. Back into that heavy formation for the Wolves.
There you go! There you go! Wait! Wait!
And that clock is still... That clock's still going.
Dennis just posed. Wait. Did anyone else see Dennis?
And that might be it.
Was it? Yeah!
And the Brunel Burners are going back to Loughborough. 31-14 over the Warwick Wolves. The second year in a row, the Burners head to Loughborough, this time competing for the Premiership Championship and a chance to face Leeds Beckett for a chance to be a national Premiership side. And you've got to say that James Kelvin's master plan to be able to get the Burners to the national Premiership has started to take shape. The 24th, it will be the Burners versus either the SGS Pride or the Portsmouth Destroyers. We know the Bournemouth University Bobcats lead the Hertfordshire Hurricanes 20-13, and the Lancashire Rams currently lead the Edinburgh Napier Knights 13-0. In the National Premiership, the UE Bullets beat the Nottingham Gold 42-21 yesterday, and the Durham Saints beat the Loughborough 49-13 today. So we know the main event will be the Durham Saints versus the UE Bullets. We know the Burners will take on SGS or Portsmouth, and right now it looks like the Bobcats will be facing the Rams. But the score here today, maybe for the last time at Site 5. Brunel 31, Warwick 14.